everyone, I'm Joe.
And I'm Angela. Recently, a video emerged on YouTube and it was posted on our website, May December Society, and it's caused a bit of a commotion. It happens to be a video from Dr. Phil, our very own.
Dr. Phil?
The title of the video would be...
Dr. Phil tells a 53-year-old why marrying his 24-year-old fiancée has a high risk for divorce.
We're gonna watch this video and you'll see what we think about it.
Yeah.
Let's look at divorce rates. For first marriage, everybody thinks a divorce...
Okay, I have to pause this because it says these approximations are based on a variety of studies. No specific study is named, just a variety, and that's what he's going off of. Okay.
Divorce rate in America is 50%. That's not true. It's actually 35 to 40%. It's not as bad as everybody thinks. For second marriage, it's 60 to 65%. For
That's
third
sad.
marriage, your chance of getting divorced is 7 out of 10.
I can't give up trying. My business fails prior. I get back up and I keep trying.
Well,
Good for him.
I agree with him 100%. I mean,
Yeah.
really, as
Try again.
As Han Solo says, never tell me the odds.
I'm going to keep running my head into the wall till I bust the wall or bust my head, and hopefully I'm out busting my head with Brooke.
Oh,
well, let's look at the other risk factors here.
okay,
Because there are
let's.
also statistics on the likelihood of divorce based on age gap.
Really?
If there's a 10-year age gap, 39%. A 20-year age gap, 95%. The 30-year age gap, 172% likelihood of divorce.
172% likelihood of divorce. How can that even happen? How can there be more than 100% likelihood? But 172%, according to Dr. Phil, is the number.
It's funny because he has a plus sign on the statistics, but he doesn't say that, and it also doesn't tell you what that's in addition to. So since Dr. Phil did not name any study that he was looking into, we want to do a little research of our own about this. You know, when you Google age difference and divorce, okay, now the first thing that comes up is an article. It says, oh, the bigger the age gap, the shorter the marriage.
New York Post.
Oh, the New York Post. So it must be true, right? The New York Post says so. Okay, all right, well, let's click on this and look a little closer into this.
The larger the age gap, the shorter the marriage. Remember, that's what they're saying.
According to a survey of 3,000 people at Emory University,
Only 3,000?
it says that someone else, a research assistant at a different university, came to these results. So what is this Emory University study about? Okay, this study by Emory University is called A Diamond is Forever.
It's the relationship between wedding expenses and marriage duration. So if you spent a lot of money for your wedding, it's doomed.
Yeah.
That's what they're basing it on.
And somebody else, not associated with this initial study, pulls the data from that and comes to the conclusion that the greater the age difference, the more likelihood of divorce. There was no study about that. It wasn't actually about age difference.
No.
So, interesting. That's interesting, right? So, why don't we look and see if there actually is a study on age difference and the likelihood of divorce.
Let's check that out right now.
So, do a little bit of research and we find this lovely paper.
Yeah, that's a big paper.
It was a government study performed by the Office of National Statistics. It's from Bill Wilson and Steve Smallwood. You can look this up. This study was done between 1963 and 2005.
Whoa!
Every single marriage and divorce was taken into account in this study. Every single one. In England and UK. Every single one. That's not 3,000. That's everyone between 1963 and 2005. And wouldn't you know it, what was the results of that?
The results were, there is no difference. No evidence that an age gap marriage is going to end any sooner than other marriages.
So at the end of this, the use of almost all registered marriages and divorces between 1963 and 2005 should make this data more robust than analysis during surveys, so it legitimately just poked fun at the other study. As such, it seems reasonable to conclude that despite any popular belief of the contrary, there does not appear to be any strong association between marital age difference and probability of divorce.
There you go.
Right there, the key findings of the study.
42 years worth of marriages. I think that's pretty solid.
So where the hell does he get 175%?
Yeah, he's completely off base, and none of his findings were based on anything other than random, arbitrary surveys that he couldn't even cite the name of.
He didn't cite any research, and we're finding research to the contrary.
If you're not confident enough to put the name of the study, you just say variety of studies. Or some guy told me, when you don't know the name of the doctor.
Yeah, 99% of all statistics were just made up on the spot.
Yeah.
So, despite popular belief, no association. Maybe Dr. Phil should stop reporting on popular belief and start reporting on fact.
Well, that would change his format.
So let's continue on to see what else this wonderful video has to offer us.
Okay.
What's your age difference?
29 years.
10 years.
And this is your third marriage.
Yeah.
And it's your third
Now,
marriage.
you've got emotion involved.
Marriage.
Take the emotion out. Say I was selling you a car, okay, instead of marriage. And I said, okay, now David, this car I'm selling you, I'm going to admit to you it's old. And I don't know whether it's going to run or not. Because 172% of the time we get in it, it does not run.
Yeah, that makes total sense, Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, 72?
And I know you've bought it once. I know, and it didn't.
Again, how does something not work 172% of the time?
It's either 100% broken and you can't use it.
Yeah, what does that mean? It just...
work. And I know I sold it to you a second time and it didn't work. And I know I sold it to you now a third time I'm asking you to buy it, and it hasn't ever worked before. But what do you say? You want to buy this?
Like, we're not a car. Like, that's just different. We're both being optimistic, and honestly, like,
I don't feel there's
if we're happy,
I don't feel the
then
age
why
difference between me and Brooke.
does it really
No,
matter? to
you don't
anybody
feel
else?
it.
She said it. If we're happy, why does it matter to what other people think?
Yeah.
I mean, why? We go through this all the time. You guys know that. I mean, it's happiness is the main deal.
Even if these statistics were true, which, as we've shown, they're not true.
No.
People don't live life by statistics. If they did, we wouldn't be driving cars. We wouldn't be eating processed food. We wouldn't be doing any of that because if you look at the statistics, all those things, you're likely to die doing them.
Listen, I like processed foods.
If we're all living life by statistics, we're not going to have a very fun life.
No, we're not.
Age difference so much right now.
Right.
I actually put some pictures together.
Oh, this is ridiculous.
These are not of you, but they're pictures of people that are similar. Okay, here's the difference when you're 44 and 73. This is your age difference. And you see, you accelerate in aging much more than she does. And here's the age difference at 54 and 83. So the age gap is this much now, but it's that much in 20 years, is that much in 30.
It's bizarre what they're doing here. They're over here showing you these ridiculous photos of, ew, look at how old he looks now. Shouldn't you run away because he's so old and gross? And look at that.
He is putting examples up here that may not be exemplary of everyone. You know what I mean? He's putting someone up there that really is not aging well. All of us have seen people that age really well. Even older people, they do. You never can guess their age because they look terrific. And I don't know what the norm is. He's pointing out the extreme, and I think that's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I can pull up pictures of 80-year-olds and say, oh, well, let's look at this 80-year-old and this 20-year-old, and I pull up this guy. People don't accelerate in aging just because they're older. They accelerate in aging because they don't take care of themselves.
That's right. It depends on what you eat, your exercise, everything. There's so many variables that go into that. We all know that.
Like, it's like, dude, Don't you think we know that they're gonna get older and we're
I
gonna
know.
not age as fast as they are? You know, a lot of people are not gonna want to get into this kind of relationship simply because of that fact. And regardless, I just don't see the point of this. Because if they're getting married, they're clearly in love with each other.
Yes.
Are you telling me that just because he's old and looks old, that's gonna stop you from loving him? It's fear-mongering. You know, and honestly, I think those pictures look sweet. All right, let's continue.
I mean, you start aging a lot faster. But you got a 172% chance of never getting there anyway.
Well, that is stupid. 172% chance.
Oh.
And that guy says right.
Right, he says right.
Yeah. Another example of exploiting age gap relationships for Dr. Phil's advantage, for his benefit, for him to get good ratings, for him to get people talking about it. But you know what? If you wanted to make a comment on his YouTube, you can't. They don't let you. Because
Yeah.
I know all of you would be jumping in on it. We certainly would, but you can't. So this is the way for us to respond to Dr. Phil. Poor Dr. Phil.
So Dr. Phil, no, age gap marriages aren't going to end in divorce. Those two, you know, I can't speak about those two individuals. They may or may not get divorced, but nobody should take his crap statistics and actually apply them to their own
Because
relationship.
as we've mentioned, there is no difference. It doesn't matter your age, the divorce rate is the same. It was just pure theater. I guess sometimes it's good, I don't know. We had to respond to this, I don't watch him, but if all of his shows are like this, that's pretty bad.
Yep, so we hope you enjoyed it.
All of you watching that are members of MayDecemberSociety.com, don't forget to take the poll about the cruise.
And please support us on Patreon. We have awesome
Yes.
photos on there. We post life updates and photos of us that, you know, you won't be able to see anywhere else.
We'll see you.
Bye.
Bye.